Hi there. Welcome back to Tarot by Janine. How's everybody doing? This is my going to Mexico outfit. I'm imagining and visualizing and taking action towards something I want. That's how you manifest things. You take actions towards it as if it already is. You imagine it being true. You visualize doing it. You create it. So I'm creating being able to travel really soon. And everybody get doing that. Get imagining and visualizing. That's how you manifest things. So in my vision and my imagination, I will be getting to board a plane soon without showing any papers other than the usual ones that we used to show a couple of years ago. So yeah, I want to have a look at February. I'm a little late here with coming up with this February read, but we've been pretty busy here in Canada. We've been busy. So I'm going to look at February just in general, and then I'll do a zodiac on February. So we'll do it two different ways. We'll do it. Some people really like the Kachina knife, so we'll look at it that way. And then we're going to look at a big zodiac on February. Seven of Pentacles starting us off here. Seven of Pentacles with the Two of Pentacles. So there's still a lot of things up in the air. 70% of what we want, 70% has already happened, or a whole bunch of seeds have been planted for 70% of the world to change in the way we want. It hasn't happened fast enough. We're really, some of us are getting really impatient. I have days where I'm in and out of impatience for sure. But this Five of Pentacles is like going in and out of patience, right? And feeling a little left out, right? Feeling left out, even with everything that's gone on. I mean, it's hard to, you got your hard days. Don't forget though, we just went through a 3-week retrograde that's just ended on the 3rd of February. So, it ends on the 3rd of February, and then there's the shadow period, and that's always interesting. But here we've got that 7. So this says a lot of seeds have been planted. A lot of things are happening that we don't know about literally. We hear about them, but we don't know about them. This guy is waiting for the harvest, and that's us. We're waiting for the harvest for all the fruits of our own labor and the alliance labor. Like, we're counting on that they've been working too, right? So we're thinking with what they've been doing in the background, we know about anyway, right? And what everybody else, so what the truckers are doing, what all of the lawsuits, think about all of the actions that have been taken and all of the good people that have put positive foot forward to save humanity in this, right? So that's what this card's all about. All of those actions are piling up and starting to take effect. It's just incredible. This is incredible times we're living through, people. Okay, so we've got that too. So we're in that in-between time, waiting for some of those things. We're waiting for a whole bunch of things we were told could happen. Like, it's all just like this big waiting game, it feels like. Now, here in the middle, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So we're all just trying to stay grounded, practical, one foot in front of the other. That's a daily practice. I know I have to practice that every day because I can get carried away. The energy is pretty intense. So practicing daily grounding is a really good idea. Something interesting that's happening in February is a lot more coming together of people where we're finding out really who's for who. Okay, this whole situation in Canada with the trucker convoy brought the US and Canada really, and a whole bunch of people all over the world having their own convoys. It's like bringing all of these allies together, and togetherness. People are starting to realize there's a lot more people thinking this way than we thought there were. Okay, so they're gaslighting and saying like what our Mr. T, so Canadian Mr. T, said publicly and has been saying publicly is this is what's going on in Canada is this fringe thing, with, derelicts basically and bad newsers, I'll use words like that, but you can go and watch, it's all over what he said. And it's unbelievable. This is a guy that wore blackface several times, and it's been videoed and photographed. Okay, this guy, and all kinds of wearing all kinds of costumes from all kinds of different cultures, and he's calling the truckers racist. Okay, can you believe that? Yeah, this guy's like the supreme gaslighter. I never saw anything like it, right? So it's perfect, though, in a way, because people are really starting to go, what did he say? Right? He's really showing his true colors. His whole team there is showing their true colors. The mayor of Ottawa, they're showing their true colors. We're really seeing these guys for who they really are. So the biggest thing for the month looks like kindness towards each other. Kindnesses towards what's happening, like the truckers experience and or are experiencing incredible generosity all the way from communities, all the way along their journey. We're giving them, big cookouts. Cook-ins, because it's too cold to cook out, right? But they would be going to these community halls in these different various places and getting fed. It's brought all of these people together. Did exactly the opposite, actually, of what dark cult deep state wanted to happen in this whole situation. This whole world situation was about separating everybody, isolating everybody, and keeping everybody apart. Anger and destitution. But actually, this convoy, they fooled everybody with the convoy because it wasn't about striking truckers. It's actually about love. They're all talking about love, unity, and the exact opposite of what the Canadian government was trying to do, and all the governments are trying to do. Exclude people and get people mad at each other. And everybody that gets interviewed concerning this convoy, and all the truckers that have been interviewed are clearly, they're not showing it on the news, but they're all about just freedom and love and inclusive of everybody. And there's a combination of every kind of person in there and every kind of culture. Okay, truckers aren't just white people. Okay, they're every culture. In fact, there's a large segment of the Canadian truckers are Sikhs from India. So it's like, seriously? How is it a racist organization? But anyway, I know I'm preaching to the choir here. So bringing people together, bringing the US and Canada together, bringing all over the world, there's people standing up. There was convoys in Italy, convoys in Brussels, convoys in all over. Like, I saw pictures of Australia, convoys all over the place. They had their own. And some are getting real serious about it. So in February, there's going to be a whole lot of that, right? Okay, so here, 8. So the 8 of Cups, so walking away. More and more countries are walking away and dropping all of the mandates and the passports. Okay, so that's all going to happen in February, you guys. They're going to walk away because the exact opposite happened that they wanted to happen. They wanted exclusive. They wanted people to be mad at each other. Exactly the opposite. Everybody came together. So that's where we fooled them. Even if we might have done things that they sort of predicted. So a long time ago, it was predicted, apparently, that a big trucker strike would happen. During times like this, they were expecting and anticipating the truckers to do something. And they were okay with that, right? But what happened was it turned into a freedom and love convoy. Okay, a freedom and love convoy, right? So February's about coming together and realizing we're like all in this together. It's like they woke up people's hearts again, and the world woke up. February could just be astrological as well. It's just a timing thing, I'm sure. But it's like the whole world's waking up to realizing that the governments and them using the medical system as it, and a whole lot of other systems. But in particular right now, the medical system is being used by the government. The government having all got together and agreed on a one world type sort of idea of where they wanted the humans to go, right? So completely against anything, trust me, we'd want. nothing in our benefit or to our advantage whatsoever, taking everything away from us. Okay, but it woke us up to realize this was even happening. So in that way, we were allowing ourselves to be literally psyoped left, right, and center, and completely fooled and hoodwinked by the mainstream media. And now so many people are waking up. In fact, what's happening in Canada is waking up so many more people to how I'm hearing Canadians say, well, they can't believe our mainstream media isn't covering any of it properly and is only just going with the narrative that they're all just a bunch of thugs, basically, to cause trouble, which in fact, they're quite the opposite. Apparently, they're shoveling like walks and cleaning up the inner city of Ottawa. Thank you very much. There's all kinds of footage of that. And they're feeding people, including the homeless, contrary to what's been put out there. So in the world, February, according to that reading, was all about coming together and realizing and taking these mandates down all over the world. So that eight of wands is like, it'll swiftly take everything down. It's going to come down this month, you guys. So now after that, I'm going to do a big zodiac for the human race. And we're going to look at, in particular, I'm going to have a look at the travel house, okay? Because I know a whole lot of us want to travel again soon. Well, sooner than like yesterday. But we'll look at the whole zodiac and just see what's happening in February. What can we expect for the human race? Okay, so here we are. We're the Queen of Swords. Now, I remember the last time we did a zodiac on the human race, wasn't too long ago. She came up, but I think she was in the 7th house. I think she was, and she was about boundaries. So we've absolutely learned to stick up for ourselves. Now it's coming in as ourselves, okay? So we've really, really taken on that boundary. In fact, we might even be being almost like zero tolerance for silliness. Okay, so we've come to zero tolerance and we want justice. So humans are at the zero tolerance and we want justice kind of place. We've got the justice card right across, and she is about looking for justice. Okay, so we're willing to fight for our rights. Okay, and we'll use the justice system. So even though it's corrupt, I think we're getting some places with it. Even though it needs work for sure, there's still enough there. I think here in North America, and it appears in the UK as well, that and we got some good lawyers working on things, and people are really stepping up. And it feels like we can use the system. So against them. So we're turning systems against the system. And that, I think, was the whole idea. I really do. Like turning around the whole convoy into something loving and freedom and about togetherness, as opposed to the exact opposite it could have been. Could have been about anger and demands, but it's actually about non-compliance and just peaceful turning things around and inclusion, as opposed to, we've all been separated apart. The exact opposite of what the government of Canada talks about. Like they talk the talk, but they do exactly the opposite. It's just like all governments. Okay, so we're zero tolerance and we want justice. We've got the 10. So this is a beautiful card of community, and every kind of person was out at that big gathering on the weekend in Ottawa, every age group, every culture, every walk of life. And we've got the 3 of Pentacles. So this is interesting. It's also around our financial, and we've got an abundance card and the 3 of Pentacles. So even though, and that devil tells me, there's things happening around it that could look scary, it's absolutely to our advantage. I think there has been quite a few things gone on that just the general public hasn't been let in on around the money system, but it's so to our advantage. And it continues to say that we're going to have a stronger system, not a weaker one. We're going to be having things based in something with substance as opposed to paper. Do you know what I mean? Just print and paper. It's going to be a whole different system, you guys. Okay, so here, and that's been consistent in the cards for months and months now. Here we've got the wheel of fortune. So things have really turned. Our attitudes have really turned, even though it's not happening quite the way we expected and as fast as we expected it with that. There's still some disappointing situations, but there's also some really amazing big shifts with that wheel of fortune. I believe it's karmic and necessary that it goes just the way it's going, frankly. I think everything's going exactly how the universe sees fit for humans, like just perfect for us, right? So that's what that feels like. It's destined and perfect. But of course, we're busy looking at what didn't happen when we wanted it to, right? So you got to really look closely at this 5 of Cups. This guy, he's lamenting the 3 spilt cups, but there's 2 full ones right behind him. So something's happening right behind him that's even better than what he's lamenting over here. Okay, so the world ends up in a better shape financially. We're more together. We've become aware of all the trickery of the mainstream media, where we can never be as naive as we were before. It's brilliant. This is brilliant. This couldn't have happened without this whole thing happening in the last 2 years. We wouldn't be this sharp, this bright. This had to happen, or we'd never wake up. Humans would never have woken up unless it got this bad, this fast. And that was the whole idea. It moving things really fast to just wake up the sleepers. I mean, that's just, and even with the amount of people that are awake now, we can change the world, you guys. When you're vibrating at a high vibration in positivity, it's almost like you're vibrating for a lot more people. Do you know what I mean? Your high vibe can raise a whole room. You can walk in a room with a high vibe and a freedom vibe, and the whole room changes. I've been practicing it everywhere I go. I've been walking into places absolutely loud and proud with my non-status and my no more of those. Okay. And just people are digging it. They're actually really responding well to me for the most part. Like I haven't got run into any trouble, and touch wood, that keeps happening. So here we've got right in the root of the reading. So in the 4th house, so of what's in our hearts, maybe what's in our hearts. We've got the 6 victory. We've got victory. The human race has a victory here. This is a big win, you guys. And it's across from, not everybody's seen exactly the victory, and there's still some things to be revealed, which will still, over the months where things are going to come out and come out and come out. But we've come to a huge victory, people. We should be proud of ourselves. So we've got the devil across from, so this is in the creative house, some people's loved ones. So I feel like there's still going to be a lot of sorting out of who's our tribe going forward. Who are we? Like there's going to be marriage breakups we're going to see on the other side of this. We're going to see when everything really shifts, even in the public eye, in the general public eye, not just in our knowing. Okay, when everything shifts and it looks like it's happening here this month, I really feel like there's going to be some guilt, a lot of people throwing blame, a lot of people feeling guilty, a lot of people, it might shake some of that togetherness. And we're going to have to really look at we're going to have to sort out who needs to be held accountable, because we've got this really big justice and seeking justice kind of cards. So a lot of people are going to be singled out and held accountable. Of course, we're going to go after the higher ups who mandated it, but it all filters down to who listened to those mandates. A lot of people are going to be weighing out what they're going to do, who they're hanging out with, what kind of companies they, spend money on. It's going to be interesting. Now, this is around the daily routine. So I know there's a lot of talk about huge shortages and scary talk like that. There's going to be some issues, but it'll be shorter lived, you guys. Like things will get back to maybe not normal, because normal wasn't healthy for us anyway, but they're going to get back to a function, and we're going to find new ways to function. And as we go through in the coming years, we're going to change a lot of things. We're going to have to route out a lot of things that just weren't working. We've really got a good idea and a good look at what things do we need to change. Our education system, absolutely. Our healthcare system, absolutely. We're like people that are practicing more naturopathy and or healing, the healing arts, those people are going to be probably a lot busier than traditional healthcare. I think nobody's going to trust the healthcare system anymore. So it's going to be fascinating. Doctors that were pushing that and insisting that all of their people that work under them were pushing those things. This is all going to be very interesting, but things are not going to be as bad physically in the world, like around shortages, as people have been saying. Yes, there's going to be some issues for sure, but it very quickly gets sorted out. And also, this is like interesting. I feel like once everything dissipates with all of the silliness, okay, they'll realize that it's nothing scarier than what's always around. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. It's not a bit different than that, because this is all, things just sort themselves out. Physical bodies know how to handle these things. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of stuff going on where things were getting tweaked and ramped up. And really the biggest thing we're going to have to work with is issues from, that's going to be our biggest issue. That's going to be our biggest thing going forward. And I'm hoping there's ways to really backtrack on that deteriorate. There's lots of stories about deteriorating immune systems. And, I'm sure that was in the plan. Okay. But it still remains to be seen how that all goes down, because this is the health cards and for ourselves. And it's looking like not as bad as everybody's saying. So don't forget, both sides are ramping up the info and the fear. Okay. And I personally don't approve of ramping up fear. I say ramp up the love vibration, and let's bring up our intention to have healthy lives, and let's all go forward in a healthy, loving way, and stop manifesting the need for this kind of lesson anymore. This is the deep unconscious message, okay? It's the Page of Pentacles. Okay, the next thing to really bring to our conscious in February, because we're looking at February, is going to be our kids, our offspring, okay? That's gonna be a really big thing to bring to the foreground. We're gonna have to really start talking about that. Everything that's been going on with mandates, repressing humanity, okay? All of that's to distract you from what dark cult deep staters have been up to, how they actually make their money. And it's literally pillaging mankind. That'll be next to tackle. But February, we're already starting to seek justice for those that, pushed mandates and passports and etc. And we're dropping those things, it looks like, in February. Thank you so much for watching my video, and do like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already.